I am so excited today to be able to share with you some news that I've been keeping to myself largely for a good few months now. But before I do, I'm going to show you around what basically at the moment is looking like a fairly shabby plot. It looks a lot nicer when the sun comes out, but I'm not going to mention the weather. So what we'll do today, we'll just take a little look around. I've got quite a few things I want to get harvested, so I'll show you them. I've got something very exciting in the polytunnel, and I've got an issue with my corn. So I'm going to put this one in a little coop, and she's been very good. You haven't done anything on me as yet, have you? Fingers crossed. And we'll have a little look around. Well, I'm not sure if you can see this or not, but we've got a very naughty chicken here has escaped again. Every day I put her in the little run that's got supposedly chicken-proof high fencing, and oh, I don't know, within minutes she's taken herself out, but you know, she doesn't go far. She doesn't cause too much of a ruckus, so usually I leave her to it. She wants to go back in now. She can fly out, but she doesn't quite know how to fly back in. Bless her. Last time I was in here, I was bemoaning the fact that hardly any tomatoes had ripened. And then I came up 3 or 4 days ago now, and I actually picked a basket full of these bloody butcher tomatoes, which you're probably just off camera, but I'll bring you around to show you. And I can only assume it's because they're smaller than the others, so they've got less surface area to ripen. I don't know, but I mean, I was so thrilled. The thing is, I've grown these in previous years, and these are from Save Seed, and I've got to be honest, when I first grew them, I was really excited about them. I thought the flavour was great, and this year I don't think the flavour's as good. So whether the Save Seed has lost its oomph, I don't know, but these are the only ones we're harvesting so far. I'll show you the beefsteaks. There she is. Look at that little number, can you see? That is one of the orange accordion. Now, I think I've got 3 or 4 orange accordion plants, and each one's got 3 or 4 tomatoes on, but I think she's just starting to turn colour now. So if she can get a move on, again, this is one I haven't grown before, but I desperately want to see what this looks and tastes like, because I think it'd be really interesting once you've chopped into it with all these different segmentations. Is that a word? I think so. But yeah, so she's looking good. But the other ones that I'm really pleased with are these Phelan's First Snow, which, poor thing, that's on the floor. This one only got to that high. But look at these. Look at these beauties here, and desperately trying to keep them off the ground. Every time I come in, they've fallen a little bit further. Oh, like there. So yeah, they are starting to change colour. Again, these are from Jazz, never had them before. Really interested to see what they're like. I think they're a cross with Cherokee Purple. Look at these ones. Look at, oh my goodness. Can you see those on that plant? My goodness me. Yeah, I'm going to have to get that up off the floor. But wow, please hurry up and ripen. We just need a few more sunny days and make all the difference. Hello. If you remember last time, I was talking about my sweet corn, and I got completely mixed up with my tassels, my kernels, my husks and my silks. So thank you so much to Vegans, I hope I've said it right, for putting me right there, because of course we have, let's just see, we have our cob. I'm going to pick this one because I'm confident it's ready. Twist it down, give it a twist. Okay, cob, husk. This is what I've been doing my homework. Okay, husk. This is the tassel. okay, that is made up of all the silks, and each one of those, oh, this is so good. Each one of those silks goes to a kernel, not that sort. And once those husks have died back, just as we're talking about with the seeds, you know that all the goodness, let me show you, is in that fantastically, look at that, fantastically ripe sweet corn cob, ear cob, right, I've got mixed up on that one. Okay, and I've got terrible nails at the minute, but if I then, left-handed as well, which doesn't help, can you see, hold on, if I then pop it, I don't know if you got that, you can pop it and juice will squirt out, usually in your eye, and that is ready to eat. So I know all about picking and eating sweet corn at its best, because as soon as you pick it, that is it. Now you've picked it, the sugars will start to turn to starch, and that is why it's so good picking your own food, because you eat it fresh. Imagine if you bought that from the supermarket, how long is it since it's been picked? So yeah, that's great. But what on earth do we do with these over here? Because if you look at these ones, they look, well, actually they're taller. If you look at me, look, I'm 5'7". My daughters would argue that I'm probably 5', 6.5". But yeah, so what, 6 foot tall? These are doing really, really well. Cobs, ears, they're doing really, really well. What's interesting about them, actually, they have had the most beautiful bright pink tassels. Can you see that? Absolutely gorgeous. But I showed these, I think in the last video, the one before, and good old Terry King, and if anyone knows anything about anything, it's Terry, said to me, just watch out with these, because whereas with normal sweet corn that we use to the corn on the cob, we wait for the tassels to die back. If you do that with these, they get really tough and a bit bitter, I think he said, but a bit tough anyway. So he said, make sure you harvest them earlier than you would do with those. So I took his advice and I picked one exactly the same way. Oh, actually, that's interesting. That has got another one behind it. Now, actually, if you feel that, it's probably going to be too big, but okay, same thing again. I have done this once and I was quite surprised about what was inside. Right, absolutely same again. Okay, taking the husks off. Now you can see it's getting thinner, so that is not as fat as your normal cob of corn, ear of corn thing. But here we are, we're getting there, and you can just see. I mean, it sounds mad to think each of those tassels is attached to each one of those kernels, but you can see how it works, can't you? I mean, that is quite incredible. And right, okay, so already it looks more like a miniature corn, but I think this one might be slightly overdue. So the one I peeled the other day was about half that size, and that was really, really nice. But I would say now, really weird, look at it, it's quite spiky. Can you see that? I'm hoping it focuses for you. There, I'm going to try some. It's okay. It's getting really tough. It's getting really tough. So yeah, you can see it's drying out. So what I'm going to do then, if that one's like that, I'm going to strip all of those off and just see if any are slightly smaller and slightly tastier than that. And again, it's a lesson for next time. So thank you, Terry, because I would have left them even longer and the mice would have probably got at them before I did. So yeah, you live and learn, don't you? You live and learn. one thing that never disappoints, and I say always, I'm always going to try and do in the garden, are the Gigantous beans. And if you don't like beans, if you've only ever had kidney beans out of a tin, or butter beans, or even chickpeas, you might think, what's the point? They all taste much of a muchness. But if you try the beans from one of these fresh, my goodness me, they are such a delicacy. They really are. If I take this off, now this is probably way too soon. It's still too green, but these, oh my goodness, guess how many beans there are in here? Look, big pod. Three, that's all, but because they're big. Okay, so let me show you these beans. These have still got the membrane on the outside, so they could stay on the plant a little bit longer. But if you look at that, they are huge, and honestly, they are absolutely delicious. Obviously you boil them. If you wait for them to get a little bit drier, you'd have to soak them overnight like you would with any bean and then boil them. But honestly, you can add them to anything and they will make the most beautiful meal. And if you give it to visitors, they'll wonder what it is, because they're not something you can just buy off the shelf. So Gigantous beans, if you can get hold of some of the seed, you've got it for years, because you just keep saving the seed from it. But yeah, an absolute treat. Oh, wow. Okay, Jane, you've waffled on for quite long enough. What's this news that you're so excited about? I'm almost too embarrassed to say, but yeah, it's something that's happened that is very exciting for me. And I'm sure it won't be exciting to any of you, but I really wanted to share it, and I've been dying to share it now for months. If you are a member of the Facebook group, link below, you will know, because I couldn't keep the cat in the bag. People were starting to notice it a couple of weeks ago. But this weekend, I am actually having an article that I have written myself and photographed for myself, published in Kitchen Garden magazine. And I am so thrilled. I love writing. I love taking pictures. I love the whole creative side of the editing and everything sometimes. And so to be able to write something that people then thought that was okay to put in a magazine, it's not a dream come true, but it's pretty darn close. It's one of those things that I've always wanted to do, so I can't stop smiling about it. It's out tomorrow. I am actually a little bit nervous because it might be rubbish. It might be terrible. I wrote it a couple of months ago now, so yeah, I can't quite remember the gist of it. I've got the gist of it, but yeah, so if you happen to be in your local newsagent or wherever you get your magazines from and you see it on the shelf, have a little riddle through and say hello to me. But yeah, so, and it does come back to you, and I'm not going to get gushy, but it does come back to the support that you have shown, not just recently, but I know those of you who've been with me right from the beginning, in the days where everything was black and white. No, it's 8 years. 8 years now. 8 years I've been doing this. So thank you for all your support. Thank you for sticking with me. And if you're new to the channel, super welcome. I hope you're going to enjoy it. I've got 8 years worth to look back at. Don't look at the early ones. I look a bit younger, but the picture quality and the sound is awful. But yeah, it's been, I hate the term, I can't use it. I'm going to have to use it, but I'll have one eye closed. It's been a journey. I had to close both eyes. It's been a journey. So, if you want to continue supporting the channel, that was good, wasn't it? I couldn't have done that can't do it now, 8 years ago. All the links are below, so there's a link for the Facebook group, there's a link for Instagram. I've also got a Patreon channel. Thank you so much to my patrons. Honestly, your support, fantastic. So if you want to have a look and see a few things that go on behind the scenes, click on the Patreon link below. But the main thing is, give me your comments. Let's get a conversation going. Have you grown any of that miniature corn before? Would you grow it again? Have you learned your lesson? Did you make the same mistakes as I did? Have your tomatoes ripened yet? Is it just me who's having the latest tomatoes in the land? Let me know. Get the questions going, get the comments going down below. Give us a like, thumbs up. If you like the content, consider subscribing to the channel, and hopefully I'll see you again very soon. Bye for now.